Hi everybody, I'm Zilla Blitz, and today we're going to do the tutorial for Heavy Cargo, the truck simulator. This game is a trucking simulator that focuses on massive loads. And I wanted to show you the tutorial here because this gives you a sense for some of how huge some of these loads get. You can see that this is us right now outside of our truck here vehicle, and we can do various things like jump and rotate and all these kinds of things. Camera controls move all around. We can zoom in and we can zoom out, and that's what it's kind of guiding us to now. But first, we have to get into our vehicle here. Actually, I find it easier to use the keyboard and mouse when I'm not driving, but we're going to jump into the vehicle and we're going to get going here. So this is the service vehicle.
Join us. We could need your help.
It's going to, give us some things here. I don't know what we're supposed to, look at the left, look to the right. Yeah, so we're kind of following the tutorial here. Right button to change to the orbit cam. This is, yes, the service vehicle that's used to go get us to the start of the job. And let's change back to the cockpit view. Here we go. And let's release the handbrake and start the engine. I'm using a Logitech wheel right now, and we're going to steer right and steer left. I have found that the handling controls are pretty good in the game. There is a little bit of... There's a few things that I wish were a little different. I'll talk about those as we kind of drive out for this load. Hopefully this car doesn't hit us. So this is, again, the service vehicle. One of the things I've noticed is that I wish I could tweak the dead spot in the wheel, and I could probably do that in the Logitech wheels settings, but I found that inherently the game has a little bit of drift in it, and I don't see a way to change that in the game. But I think I can do that in the Logitech wheel settings for it, and apply it to the game. So maybe that's a way to solve that. But for the most part, even with the drift, it's not really that big of a deal. Other than that, I found the handling with the wheel pretty good. The vehicles do accelerate pretty quickly, so they're really going to pick up speed for you. And by way of kind of talking a little bit about this, I've played the game now for about 2 to 3 hours. I did this tutorial once before. And then I've done the first 2 missions of my career. So maybe an hour and a half or so. I mean, it took me a while to kind of figure out some issues with the tutorial for getting the wheel working and stuff like that. But that was all basically just kind of stuff you'd expect to have happen when you first start out. But all issues sorted out, I'll probably spend a couple hours with it. And I've come back and I want to show the tutorial in the game because I think the tutorial shows you eventually the big loads that you're going to be driving. Whereas once you start your career, you start at a very low kind of base level. And you have to work your way up to handling the big loads that we're going to see in the game as we get going here. And one of the cool things with some of these larger loads is that on the corners, like when we might even be here. Stop. Exit the van? What do we have to do? Oh, sporting task ahead. Stop. Exit the van. Okay. So apparently we're getting out now. Let's get out. Oh, that's up ahead. We have to do that. I don't think it's right here. Yeah, so there's some kind of there are spotting missions that you have to do, and I think maybe those are the ones where you take apart the guardrails. Right now we just have to reduce the speed at the crossing ahead, and we're going to have to get out and take a picture here. And I'm not sure how the pictures fit into the career mode at all.
Hey, rookie, still on track? Listen,
yeah,
you need to do something for us. We forgot to take a picture on our way. Please take that photo for us.
I will do that. I'm just going to stop right here in the middle of the road. We're going to get off. We're going to take our pictures. Let's stop here and exit the van. All right, so we're out. Hopefully no one will run us over here. And we're going to run over here across the street and choose the tool, right button, open the tool menu. We're going to choose the tool, which is the phone. And left button. Yeah, we did that. Now, let's try this again. We'll get this going here. I haven't done this with the... There we go. Okay, so we got to back up to basically take the picture. And I think we're taking a picture of the problematic guardrail here because we're going to have to take this apart. Put the phone back. All right. Finish spotting. Return to your vehicle. Excellent. So we've taken a look at this problematic spot in the route, and we'll come back to this later because this is the one we're going to have to take apart in order to continue our drive. Let's go. Parking brake is on, and we are... Off we go. Any case, we'll see you as we get to the truck because this thing is massive. All right, we are here. We're going to pull over and start the job here. The truck hasn't arrived yet, but it'll be here shortly. Just going to pull right in here, and that will trigger our mission. There we go. And our load is loading up here. All right, so we're going to press A, and...
You've arrived. Perfect timing. Our driver's canceled. You have to stand in for him. So jump in the truck and save the day.
All right, so we're going to exit the van, and we're going to have to drive. And check this thing out as we walk around here. This thing is massive, and I think this is really what the game is trying to get at, right? You're going to be driving these incredibly long loads by the time you kind of build up your career. We've got a van in the back to guard us. They're holding off the traffic with police escorts, and this thing is just mammoth. So we're going to run back up to the front of our truck here, hop in, and then get busy here. And we'll have a lead van for us too. And we'll see here that as we get farther down, we're going to have to release the emergency brake. All right, so we basically just follow the van to our destination. This is not a long one, but we can see this massive load behind us. I think just some comments too on the gameplay in general. This is a little bit of a murky day. I've driven around in the sun and stuff like that too, but the graphics, fine. I think that they're not ultra high quality, but they're functional, good enough to kind of give you the ambiance of driving around. And the game occurs in, we can't see this with the tutorial here, but the game occurs in a map layout of a region. So you're not kind of making, country to country or state to state kind of trips or anything. You're basically working in this one big area. It's got some urban settings, some city settings, and then some rural settings. And just kind of driving around and doing all your missions in there. But it's a pretty big geographical region. And then as you start out in your career, you get simpler missions and you work up to these heavy duty ones. And I wanted to show the tutorial because the tutorial actually shows one of these heavy duty missions right away. I did want to comment a little bit about observations on the AI traffic. I think it's got some work to do. It's not bad. And one of the things that, unfortunately, with AI traffic, right, if you go past 200 cars and 198 of them get their turns and their routing correctly, but 2 of them don't, then you run into issues. And that's kind of what happened on the first delivery that I had yesterday. There was 2 cars that were trying to turn to pick up that road. I was trying to make a turn and they both just stopped, and then they couldn't go anywhere. And then there was a big long line of cars in front of my delivery point, so I couldn't turn into the delivery point because there was a long line of cars there. So the only way I was able to complete the mission was to drive up, go around the cars in the wrong lane, nudge the 2 cars that were stuck out of the way with the trailer, and then they could go. Then all the cars went by and I made a U-turn and came back and I delivered it. So there's some AI issues that I think with the traffic that need to still be worked out. But in terms of potential, I think it's pretty close to its routing here. Okay, so we got to get the wrench here. This is one of these things. This guardrail here, our truck is way down there in front of us over there. We're looking at it now. And this guardrail, they didn't take the whole guardrail apart. So we have to come in and we're going to grab our wrench here. Let's do that. And we got to run over here. We got to deconstruct the rail, which is, you got to get close enough to trigger an A. There's A. All right. And we're going to press A and we're going to put the bolts out. We got one. Let's get the next one here. Come on. All right. So we took apart the bolts on that one. Now we've got a few of these to do here. And I think it's marked how far we have to go. So we'll get busy pulling apart the rails on this one. I think there's like 4 sections we have to do. All right, that one's done. And it's marked how far we have. Yeah, see, we got to get all of them down to here. Let's actually start here. All right, so we have disassembled all the bolts. Now we got to pick up the guardrail section here. And we got to walk it over here. We got the big pile of all the guardrails. And drop it. Boom. Okay, so we'll get the rest of these picked up. Alrighty, put back the impact wrench. We've got these guardrails cleared out, so now when we take the corner, we won't rip apart the guardrails. We've got some fans here waiting for us too. Let's put the impact wrench back and then go to the finish marker. Task complete. Let's go now to get back into our truck. Off we go.
I'm done. Be careful on the next bend. You have to take a wide arc. Go on.
Take a wide arc. No kidding. Now, one of the other things I do wish here is that, so I can see my left-hand mirror perfectly clear, but when I look to my right-hand mirror, it's a little bit tricky to see. And I suppose that's normal. Wow, sneezy driver today. I suppose that's normal, but I wish that it were easier to look down that side And I also wish it were easier to look left and right more quickly too. Crushing a few of these cones, but I'd rather cut the cones, see, because I have to look here. I think we're doing okay. It's kind of hard for me to tell really here, like how we're doing back there. And I suppose I could use the external camera, but I like to drive with the internal camera. Looks like we made it fine. All right, so we'll keep going down the road here. I do wish this were quicker, like my pan to the right. And I realize I can do it with the mouse, but I feel like I like to keep two hands on the wheel, especially with some of the wheel drift. So I wish I had better visibility down the right. That would be kind of nice. The sun's setting here. We're making a good delivery here so far with our big, massive, I'm not sure what this thing is, but it's huge. Also, to make note, I think, as far as I know, there's man trucks in the game, and that's it. So you don't. It's not like you're buying a lot of trucks. After you complete missions in the game, the missions are graded on 4 parameters, I think. There's your driving, which I think is time-based. You've got a certain amount of time allocated to accomplish the mission, and you want to get close to finishing it in that amount of time. And then traffic violations. The red lights and green lights are fast too, so you got to be careful there. The yellow lights in particular are quick, so you want to be careful there. That's something I think could be tweaked, is making those a little bit longer. And then red light violations, speeding tickets are another one. Damage to the vehicle is the 4th parameter. Damage to the load and the vehicle is the 4th parameter. So far, you have to get, I think, all of them perfect, or most of them perfect. I'm not sure the criteria between 2 stars and 3 stars, but in the 2 missions I've done in the career so far, I've gotten 2 stars. I think we are close to our final destination. Finishing up our delivery here as the sun's going down. I think we might have to use the crane on this one too to finally get the stuff out of... Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do. There's a crane waiting for us there on the right-hand side. We're going to pull up here, and then once we get in position, we're going to have to use this crane in front of us to unload the cargo. So let's get up here and pull into our parking spot.
Very good. Now
All
we
right.
need to unload our cargo and place it in the designated area. Use the crane to deliver the load.
All right, so we've delivered our load here. We've got to get this thing out. That's a big load. And up we go into the crane here. All right, so V is unhook cargo, AD is move crane. Fully stabilize the crane by X, putting the struts out. Yeah, the crane supports out. All right, so crane supports are out. That makes sense. Down they go, and up goes the crane. And then crane arm up. We'll get these controls down. Crane arm down, rotate right, rotate left. Extend crane arm. Let's get this going and go up. We got to grab that cargo there. All right, so I think we've got our hook over there. That's turned green for us. Now we want to activate the hook mode. Oh, we got it. Nice. Okay. Move cargo to destination. So we just want to lift up, I think. Activate hook control mode. We've got it. Activate. Let's try that. All right. Up. There we go. Pretty heavy thing here. We're going to swing it over to that spot. We got to retract the crane too a little bit. All right, so it doesn't have to get pretty straight here. I think once we're in position, we just let it go. Unhook cargo.
Awesome.
Done.
Let's
Call it a day.
You tell the customer we're finished, and then we can enjoy our lunch.
I think that ends... Oh, we have to get out here. How do we do this? Exit crane. F. All right, we're out of the train. Let's hop down here, and then we just walk over here to the target marker. Successfully completed the tutorial. So that, I think, gives a kind of a sample of what is going on. We've got all kinds of weather here, too. So we completed the tutorial, and if we look on the map, we can see the jobs that are available to us here. We can see the categories up top. There are fast travel points. We've opened up one of them so that you don't have to spend a long time driving to your jobs as you get used to the area a little bit more. We can see we've got a headquarters here. And then this left-hand side shows us the jobs that we've got. And this is showing us kind of the map that's around here in this area. So we can see it's a pretty big area that you're driving in and on. And I found that the first 2 missions I've done have been about 10 to 15, 20 minutes each. So kind of moderate drive. So I think you can pick up the game, do a mission, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe a half hour or so, and you can complete a mission. And then if we look here, we can see what this mission categorizes. Right now, we've only got the heavy loads, which I don't think are the ones like the one that we did, because then we have these super heavy loads which come after that. And I don't know how many missions there are in the game. And we can see 8 here. I assume there's more, and they kind of keep spawning as you do more. And then once you qualify, I think you get to these super heavy loads, but I'm not quite there yet in the game. We can see pipe transport over here, and it tells us what it is. Pipes, 2x, 1x, 5x, 10.5. So lots of variety here. And I assume, again, that there's going to be more in different types of driving and more challenging ones, especially as you get into the super heavy missions. So look at Heavy Cargo Truck Simulator. Happy to answer any questions. Overall, I think this game has a ton of potential. Definitely has a few things that need to be tweaked in terms of like AI, maybe a little bit of handling. Some of the traffic lights are a little bit quick in elements there. But on the whole, I think it's got a ton of potential to be a kind of a focused look at what I think is some of the fun deliveries in Truck Simulator games, which are those the heavy cargo loads. Thanks so much for tuning in. Take care, everybody. Have a good day.